Hey Leos, let's go ahead and see what your animal energy is for the second half of May. What is going on? What is going on? Oh, very, very, very interesting. So we have the bee here. What's really fascinating about this is, first of all, B equates to a 3 of Pentacles energy, which is about that is the key of the artisan, the craftsman woman, the craftsperson, who's really, really great at what they do. And their work is at such a level that it is around for generations to come. It's a lasting effect. It's a lasting blueprint. It's something that is left over for generations to come, right? It's a legacy of sorts. Air energy here, of course. Bee medicine is very much about teamwork and working for the greater collective, right? I find it very interesting that we were taken to a birthday party in the meditation with all the kids sitting around, and then we have a bee here, which is very much about, again, working as a group towards a common goal. So this is really, really interesting. Also, I'm really drawn to this green that's concentrated here around the heart chakra as well. You know, the emotions reside or generated through the heart chakra. So I feel like that's a little parallel coming in here too. Very, very interesting. Let's see what's going on. Going on here. You know, shark energy also equates to devil energy in the tarot, which speaks of all things of the 3D, but also, like I said, like our fear and how it entraps us and the stories that we tell, right? But letting those waters flow, letting that water run, I feel like that's a direct parallel of the full moon in Scorpio season that we're in, with that eclipse, with the Mercury in retrograde, and allowing ourselves to really go there and really face in which ways we've made fear-based choices or allowed our fear to exist within us, whether subconsciously or consciously. In what ways has our fear, according to how we have justified it maybe, and what ways have our fear kept us safe? It's not a real safety, but it's something. I feel like that's the question. In what ways has my fear kept me what felt like safe? There's something about that. I don't want to hurt this person, so I haven't done this thing that I feel like I really need to do. I didn't want to risk, you know, losing this, so I didn't try this. Like, that's the question, okay? What's going on here? What is going on? What is, oh, interesting. 2 of Cups at the bottom of the sea, are we? Very interesting. So 2 of Cups, duality. We were talking about this. What's really interesting too is that we have the hermit crab here, which is in the safety of its shell. And then we were just talking about, like, in what ways has my fear seemingly kept me safe? You know, 2 of Cups is also about, you know, that mirror image and being involved in partnerships with others, and the most important partnership, the partnership we have with ourselves, where reflected back to us are the parts of ourselves that are visible through the influence of either self-reflection by looking in a mirror with that other cup, right? Or through someone else acting as a mirror to and for us, right? So it's interesting that this is coming up here because we're looking at teamwork. We're looking at 2 of Cups, right? We're looking at the influence of others or the help of others. So it's an interesting context here, but I'm really drawn to this aspect of safety or seeming safety. It's really interesting. And what ways have you kept yourself small so that you're fitting a shell that maybe you've outgrown in some way? I just felt someone get a little uncomfortable with that. The answers lie in the discomfort, okay? It's true though. Wow. Looky here. So this came up in the reverse, but I'm going to hold it in the upright for the purpose of the visual. So Knight of Pentacles, really interesting earth energy here. So Knight of Pentacles is an interesting energy because it's very slow moving, very methodical, very much takes his time getting to where he's going. What we can say about the Knight of Pentacles is that once he gets to where he's going, he doesn't go anywhere. He's committed. He knows how to see it through. So that's brilliant. This can speak of endeavors or paths or potential partnerships that have long-term potential, that it's sort of like a slow and steady energy that you can rely on and trust, because things that take their time to grow you can trust more and are more stable than something that is, hot and fast and will burn out just as quickly, right? If you ever think about it this way, oftentimes we trust a slow process over quick things. Like when things happen quickly, seemingly quickly, or someone says yes really quickly, or we get a job too quickly, or something seems like it's just like too quick. Like you go in for the job interview and they hire you immediately without a second interview or even waiting for you to leave. Doesn't that always elicit something in you where you're like, huh? Right? Like, is that a bit desperate, or why are they so quick? We don't trust it as much, right? But there's something about, no, like call me in for 1, 2, 3 interviews, take your time, like really make sure that I'm the right candidate so that when you do offer it to me, I feel sure that I'm the right candidate for this as well. Like there's something to be said about that. And it's interesting with the 3 of Pentacles here as well. I feel like you're being called to really sort of investigate the ways in which you have gotten to where you are and how you would like to get to where you're going from here. Because it feels like there's a path and potential before you that is related to this shark energy and this emotional buildup that could be a bit different than you ever would have conceived of, but the path to which, or the answers around which, lie in your feelings and are directly related to your fear. What else is going on? I mean, duh. Okay. So you've come up in your own reading. I love to see it. So strength key for Leo. Whenever that happens, it's an extra nod from Spirit saying, oh, hey, strength. This is you. What's really interesting about this is here we have this ox energy, right? And I really love ox energy in particular because it's very similar to the Knight of Pentacles, which says it may take time getting to where you're going, but once you get there, you can trust that that's where you're meant to be. You didn't act in haste. You didn't kind of forget the map, and that you just have this deep feeling that you've done the work to get to where you're going all as well. Strength, interestingly enough, speaks of love over hate. I would say hate stems from fear. So let's rearrange that a bit and say love over fear. Interesting. We have 2 of Cups here, which is about love of oneself, love, your relationship with yourself that's born out of love, and relationships of love with other people. In what ways has your fear kept you safe? Then we have the Knight of Pentacles here. These are very similar. Knight of Pentacles here with strength, right? Both in the arid desert, both slow-moving energies that require persistence, patience, and fortitude, right? I feel like you are being called to transition into another chapter for your life. I feel like it could, I feel like it is related to the work that you do that is your legacy. This is not the work that you do that you necessarily get paid for at the office, for example. This has more to do, but if that's your sole purpose and your office work is like, your tea, then that's what it is. But this is more something that is something that you're going to leave behind as your legacy. It is unique and personal to you. If anyone else applied to do that job, they would not get hired because only you can do it, right? I feel like you are being aligned with the potential to change it up or move into another chapter or aspect of it. And that's the calling right now. And I feel like the only thing that's going to hold you back from this really is your fear. Fear of change, fear of the unknown, stubbornness, whatever that is. But the energies as they are going to be highlighting this for you. And this could come in the form of, offers, dreams, intuitive feelings, right? You could have done something one way for the longest time, but start feeling like doing it differently, right? I also feel like because the bee is a communal animal, I also feel like the work that you do or whatever this is benefits others in some way, shape, or form. Whether it inspires them, whether it heals them, whether it makes them laugh, whether it serves a need that they have, whatever it is. It's your legacy. Let's get some advice. What is your... Oh God, I just got the shivvies and I'm so here for it. 6 of Swords, people. 6 of Swords. First of all, are we not back on the open water? First of all, 6 of Swords is about transitioning from one chapter to another. It's about moving on from something towards something else. And we were literally just talking about that. Six of Swords also can indicate a actual physical move, like over a body of water, changing, geographical locations, traveling, anything that involves, especially over a body of water, really going from one place into another. So this is your advice, sweeties. This isn't about staying stagnant and allowing yourself to keep, again, stagnant or where you have been. That's not what this feels like. It feels like the universe is going to be highlighting for you during this time, like an invitation, a way in which you want to, it's encouraging you to grow and expand and move forward. Okay. Six of Swords also speaks of a complete peace of mind, a complete inner calm and peace of mind. Let me let you in on something. This person on this boat does not know where they're going. You know how we know that? Because the swords are blocking the vision. This person does not know where they're going. But you know what they do know? Where they're coming from. And they know all they need to know is that they're no longer resonating with where they were. So they're going off onto the great unknown. And it's a really beautiful thing. All of these dragonflies here are really pertinent as well, because dragonfly, first of all, speaks of dream time. And I do feel that a lot. I feel like there are going to be some really strong, significant messages coming to you in your dreams. Keep a dream journal nearby. Have some mugwort and lavender available to you. That's what it is. Chamomile as well. Chamomile tea before bed can help with this, getting into that mindset of receiving and calm. It's really beautiful with dragonfly energy as well, though, because it equates to an Ace of Swords where it's, absolute truth. And really taking what is illusion and what is real, right? Fear creates fog. It's like the fog up in these mountains. It creates fog and disillusion. And you're being asked to really move on to a next chapter, even though you may not know where it will lead. You know a lot more about your current situation because you've been in it a while. There is an unknown aspect to where you're going, but you're really being encouraged to take a chance and move it if you feel so inclined to do so, right? We as humans, we are called to change, right? We're not meant to stay stagnant, right? But you're being called to transition onward, upward, and forward, and that your abundance lies on the other side of your fear. And I'm so here for that message. Let's go ahead and get an oracle. I'm feeling like the Avalon. Why not? Oh, just flew right out of trying to make an entrance. On the bottom here, I don't know, she wants to come up and say hello. So we have Lady the Lake, which is interesting because homie is on a lake. Lady the Lake is also holding the Sword of Truth, which is the Ace of Swords energy, mystery, self-knowledge, the goddess, and other world. So this also speaks of journeying. So this is interesting too. Soul's calling there. Let's get So we have the Sacred Grove. We've got a beautiful owl here, which is about seeing yourself and others clearly. We got a stag here in the background, which is beautiful medicine around duality and balancing your masculine and feminine. And it's all about love and compassion. Like the kind of the tagline for stag energy and deer energy is actually a quote from the Bible: love is patient, love is kind, right? It's beautiful. So here we have, again, number 8, back to the strength key, which is also number 8. Longevity, protection, nature, renewal, right? Longevity, protection, nature, renewal. This is a place where people will go in order to, heal, sort of like a touchstone from which they could, again, with the owl here as well. Oh, under the moon as well. Receive insights and illumination around things that needed to be cleared from their energy in order for them to move forward unencumbered and refreshed, and like it says here, renewed. So your own personal sacred grove is coming up within the context of this reading. And I feel like it's also related to this as well, with this mystery. You may not know what's ahead. It's okay. With the self-knowledge, all you need to know is that it's time to transition to something, or it's time to try something, or it's time to take a chance or transform in some way, right? The moon, full moon in the background as well here, full moon in Scorpio. It's really beautiful. You're really being asked to step forward and allow yourself to be cleared of any fear of the unknown, because we have the moon here over and over, but any fear of not knowing exactly how things may go on the other side of this intuitively guided feeling. I feel like this relates to the work that you do, that is your legacy, and that no one else can do quite like you. But you're being asked to step out of your comfort zone with it in some way, shape, or form, or expand upon it, or something to do with that. It's really, 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 really beautiful, Leos. On the other side of this is just like pure abundance, right? It's just about allowing yourself the freedom to go there. I know the only thing worse than not facing those fears would be, or the only thing worse than facing your fears would be not facing your fears, I should say, right? Don't wait till the shark in your shadow self bursts out at the glass and ruins the party, right? Just kidding. The likelihood of that happening is very slim. All right, Leos, I'm sending you so much love and blessings. I so hope that this helped and resonated. If so, please let me know in the comments below. I love, love, love to read your comments. And please like, share, and subscribe. I would so appreciate it. And with that being said, just thank you. Thank you so, so much for being here. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And as always, and most of all, thank you for being you. And be well. Until next time.